Well, here on Social Business, we've been talking about the introduction of a national regulator for the charity sector on and off for about a year. Well, just as it's about to be set up, there's now political opposition. Peter, bring us up to date on exactly what's going on with this.
Well, it's very interesting. So they've appointed Susan Pascoe, who's been acting in the position, and she's now going to be the commissioner, and they've announced some of the things it's going to do, and we've been talking about that. Now, what's very interesting, however, is that the opposition are now really showing their hand. And it's quite interesting because Kevin Andrews gave a major speech, and he was talking about the need to help support civil society. So his concern is this, or the position he's put, that they support a national regulator, but not as being proposed by the Commission. In other words, they're concerned that this is a Trojan horse for more regulation, more red tape being imposed on the civil society. So actually he's supported a commission, but not the commission that is now being proposed.
And it seems a speech by Tony Abbott also helped to give a better idea of the fact that they're not really supporting this either.
So what you've got is Tony Abbott giving a very interesting speech, I think, on the need to empower communities rather than empower government. And his view in that, for example, is you need to have much greater local control in terms of schools and in terms of hospitals. So that theme of actually empowering the community and of enhancing civil society is then what Kevin Andrews has picked up. And so he's saying if you're going to have a commission, it should be to support, facilitate, undertake research, actually be there helping civil society organisations rather than a level of increased regulation of the sector.
And is there merit in that argument?
I think it's very interesting, the response from the sector so far, which is supportive. I think supportive in part because they're delighted to see the opposition actually speaking out on these issues in the community sector. So quite supportive. The thing that they don't like is Kevin Andrews' suggestion that you should leave the decision on charitable status to the ATO. They see that as dangerous because the ATO, the tax office, is conflicted, obviously, to the extent people get charitable status, it reduces revenues. So their view is that needs to be with an independent commission, not with the tax office.
It's even a good thing to see both sides engaging in the debate, though, isn't it? I mean, even that's very positive.
Well, that's right, because there's been such a long build-up. What is positive is now that there is a genuine discussion going on about the importance of civil society organisations and what is the best way for government to support and regulate them.
Peter, there's also, well, it looks like we might see some more information about the economic significance for the not-for-profit sector. There's some more funding.
Well, I think so. Look, for a year and a half we've been talking about the sector, 500,000 organisations, 50,000
it's
economically
the same stats
significant.
That we bring up every
all
time.
the same stats, because, of course, the ABS doesn't collect these on a regular basis. Now they've got $1.7 million, and that's allowing them to undertake what's called a satellite account. All that means is you're collecting data that you don't regularly collect. And that's going to be collected in 2012, 2013, and it's going to look at the scale and the importance of the not-for-profit sector. That's really important.
And we'll really bring it up to date because there's a lot of change happening in the sector, as we know from... Well, you know much more so even than I do.
No, but if you think back over the time we've been on Social Business, there are such changes going on. What we used to think of as charities or philanthropic organisations now increasingly see themselves as social enterprises. What we saw as benevolence, we now increasingly see as social investment. Companies that talked about corporate social responsibility are now talking about shared value. There is so much change going on, it will be really useful to have the statistics to actually inform that debate.